also NBA My Team coaches and fans. This will be the postseason overview of NBA My Team, where we'll be going over what happened during the regular season, and we will be looking at the postseason and then filming with live commentary the finals. We're going to look at the standings and any notable information as well. Give you guys a quick overview, and then we're going to go ahead and get right into that sim. So, looking at the standings, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet for a second, let you guys see how the teams were standing, and then we're going to go into a very brief overview, and then we're going to go ahead and look at the stats and get over that as quickly as possible into the playoff games and move on from there. All right, so Houston Rockets, they shoot the lights out. That's what they do. They shoot the ball and they keep on shooting it. Nothing fancy about this team. Milwaukee Bucks, best defensive team centered around a defensive scorer and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was the MVP. He averaged the most points per game. He was one of the most electrifying players on the court at all time. Washington, very bad team, but it has one of the best centers in Moses Malone, who was second up in MVP voting. There's nothing else to say about that team. It's a very bad team. It just has one of the best players in the league on it. Brooklyn has a fantastic duo with a rising star, Michael Jordan and J. Barry Carroll, and then the rising star being T. Cummings. Fantastic team. Have been consistent all the way through the league. Definitely underdogs going into the playoffs, but they were suspected that if anyone was going to make an upset, definitely was going to be them. Los Angeles, just like Washington, really bad team, really good center, and Ralph Sampson, who is debatably the best center in the league, but like I said, that's debatable. Denver, same exact issue. Los Angeles and Washington, they have a very good center, and that's about it. Rest of the team doesn't really do anything. Miami, one of the most balanced teams in the league with Kevin McHale at the 2, which is the shooting guard position. He shoots most of their shots, shoots most of their threes. Very good player. The rest of the team is kind of even out with Thompson at center, who can get the rebounds and score. It's just a very balanced team all in all. And Toronto, another balanced team with Jerry West and Dominique Wilkins. They lead the team in scoring and assists. They're a very, very good duo together. Definitely not a team to be slept on. We're going to go ahead and look at these stats. So we're going to start with the team stats, going all the way to just points per game. Like I was saying earlier, Houston shoots the lights out. They have the highest points per game, and it's almost by 20%. Up next was the Milwaukee, Washington, Los Angeles, Brooklyn, Toronto. Pretty much the top 8 teams who went to the playoffs had the highest scoring. Moving on to field goal percentage, even though a lot of these teams scored a lot, it was only the top 12 teams who were even making half of their shots. And most of these teams were still in the same ballpark of scoring. Milwaukee, they shoot less, but they take better shots. That's why they're the number 1. Followed by Los Angeles, which is 55.3, is roughly just Sampson by himself after the Wilt Chamberlain trade. Threes per game, nobody on here touches Houston because Houston, that's all they do is shoot. Most of the league shoots about 2 to 3 shots a game. 3-point percentage, these percentages aren't really that well done because the only team that really shoots a lot is Houston, which is surprising because they've taken the most shots and they're still at the highest percentage. But most teams don't shoot that much, so this is still kind of skewed and inaccurate. Rebounds per game. Houston leads this category as well, followed by Milwaukee, Washington, Denver, pretty much any team that has a good center. This category, the only reason why Houston's so high is because when you shoot a lot of threes, you miss. And their center, Wilt Chamberlain, is one of the best rebounding centers. He has the current highest rebounds per game. So it's very impressive on his end. Assists per game also goes to Houston. We have scoring that high. Someone has to be facilitating the ball. Their point guard is Larry Bird, who's actually a scoring point guard. He is not the best passer in the league, but because he passes it, his player and his teammates make the shot, because they're just really good scorers, he is considered one of the best passers. And everybody else averages about 11.9 to 12 assists per game. Steals per game. Milwaukee by far. Best defensive team. They're getting steals. They're getting blocks. They're running people up and down the court. It's a very impressive defensive showing on their side. And they also lead blocks per game, which is seconded by Houston, who's tied with Denver. This is mostly just centers that we're talking about. Milwaukee has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and M. Eaton, which both are some of the best blockers in the league. So that's why they're over everybody else in this aspect. And turnovers per game, no, none of the really good teams were out in LA because the only person who has the ball really is Sampson. Most of the better teams are lower on this list, just for the reason that they're shooting more than they actually allow to get the ball turned over, or their passing rates aren't high. So a lot of the players don't pass; they just go to score. So it's less turnover opportunities. Now we're going to look at the players. This was the points per game from before. As you can see, Kareem had 25 points every single game. Moses Malone almost 24, and Imaguro 22. The top five were really the only people competitive for the MVP. And then you start getting the secondary players like B. Scott. Dominique Wilkins isn't really a secondary player, but his team was just so balanced out. Nobody really performed super high on that team. Field goal percentage. This is a very skewed list because some of these players, they didn't actually shoot a whole lot. For example, S. Johnson of Dallas barely shot any. That's why he has a 63.4. So this is kind of an irrelevant area. Threes per game, this is also a relevant area because some of these teams are set to shooting. Michael Jordan, R. Blackman, Dominique Wilkins, Pete Maravich, Jay Malone, Sidney Moncrief, those people or those teams that they're on aren't set to shooting. So even if they could shoot, they wouldn't shoot anywhere near the threes per game as the other teams are shooting. 3 percentage is the same thing. As you can see, K. Ramsey has 100. He's probably only shot 1 3. So it's very inaccurate and very skewed. So we're just going to go ahead past that. Rebounds per game. Wilt is leading this category along with two other members of Houston. This is a very dominant based on how many shots you're taking per game. Washington is definitely shooting a lot for Moses, who's getting his own rebounds. Milwaukee should be on here a few times. I see them once, surprisingly. But they do get a lot of rebounds. So this is mostly just based on who takes the most shots. Assists per game. This is the category that's not skewed at all. It mostly just shows who's scoring, kind of just like the rebounds. Houston has Larry Bird, who's facilitating the ball. He's also a scorer, having almost 10 assists average. And the crazy part was he wasn't even a point guard until halfway through the season, being that John Stockton was on the team for a very good amount of time. Steals per game, Isaiah Thomas by far. Hardest thing to do in this game is get steals, and IT is averaging anywhere from 2 to 4 steals every single game. It's quite crazy. Best defensive guard that we have in the league. Blocks per game, it's Ralph Sampson and Wilt and Hakeem. Nobody else comes close. I guess you could say Kareem, but with as much defenses on the Bucks, Kareem will probably not get to the top of this list. Sampson's a one-man army, and Wilt is the inside enforcer for that Houston team. And then turnovers, we're not really looking at this. Most of these players belong to the worst teams because they just get clamped all game. So now we're going to look at the single game records. Moses Malone, who is the second upmost for the All-Star voting, not All-Star MVP voting. He had the most points in a game, which was 48, and he had the most field goals in a game, which was 24, which was that 48-point game. All of those were inside the paint. 24 times 2 equals 48. Larry Bird had the most threes made in a single game. Yes, that is made three-pointers. So he had 30 points off of threes alone in a single game. Did not break the scoring record that game. The most rebounds goes to Wilt Chamberlain, who's also on Houston, with 20 in a single game. Most assists also goes to Houston, with Larry Bird having 23. The most steals goes to IT with 14 in a single game. 14 in a single game. To give you kind of a mindset of how many steals that is, he has more steals than some teams have in an entire 20-game period in a single game. It's absolutely crazy. The most blocks also goes to Wilt Chamberlain. And you might be asking, well, he has the most blocks, he has the most rebounds. How is this guy not like one of the best centers? It's not so much that he's not one of the best centers. He's just not on a team where he can be that main player. And you'll see more of what I mean. And then Bob Cousy, he had the most turnovers in a game, which is 10. He's not a bad player, just on a really bad team. The all-time records, Moses Malone has 1,675 points. This is within less than 70 games. Yeah, take that into a bit of thought right there. less than 70 games and he has 1,000 plus points. Man's an absolute unit. And he has 837 made shots, which is the most in the league. Imaguro has put up 243 pointers, of which he has made throughout the season. Wilt Chamberlain has the most rebounds at 562. Larry Bird the most assists at 665. Isaiah Thomas with 163 steals. That means he's getting just about 2 steals every single game, and a little bit more than that. Ralph Sampson, he has 278 blocks, and the most turnovers once again is Bob Cousy with 125, but he's on a really bad team. These are unbelievable for just one season, and they're only going to keep getting higher. So it's going to be fantastic to see how these players improve and blossom over the years. And there's no Hall of Fame yet because this is the first season. Now, we're going to talk about some of the more crazy things that happened. We can kind of go over to the Discord for this and kind of look at the Discord. Where is it? Box scores. So we have every single game here. If you would like an invite to this and you're a fan who's watching, just go ahead and message me. You can find my information from any of the coaches, assuming you find the video from there. We're just going to look up the word record. And then we just go here. So, one of the highest scoring and most impressive games, it's this game and one more that was by Moses Malone. And this is the most points scored in a game at 86. This was where the duo scoring record was broken. This is also where the largest point difference in a game was, along with the highest field goals made at three-pointers with 58.1% on 18 and 31 shooting. This is also the game where the most assists in a game as a team with 25. Larry Bird broke the record for the most assists in a game with 17 assists. And the Houston Rockets break the record for the most records broken in a single game with 6 records. 7 if you include that one. It was an absolute phenomenal game. There's only 2 really crazy games in this league. And the second one goes to Moses Malone, where if we can find it real quick. Let's see. Moses Malone has 48 points in this game off of 24 of 29 shooting. Absolutely phenomenal game. Definitely the second best game, but the first game has to go to the Houston Rockets, who broke 6 to 7 records in that game. So returning back to the season, now we're going to look at some of these playoff games. So in this first game, pretty sure Game Stats is not going to show us. Yeah, it's just going to show us the averages. So we're going to go ahead and go out of that. This is how the first set of games went. We're going to kind of explain these matchups, and then we're just going to start looking at a tiny bit of overview. Scrolling back up. So, this Toronto versus Houston matchup. Houston was going into this with the mindset of a 4-1, which turns out to be what happened. Houston's a very high-scoring team, and Toronto's one of the more balanced-out teams. Toronto's never an easy matchup. They play good defense, they play good offense, just consistent. Houston's not the best defensive team. Even though they have a high defensive overall, that's only because Wilt is on the team. So every other position is weak at defense. So they have to just outscore people. Going into this game, it got very one-sided very quickly. Ball started going up. Nobody was going to stop Aguro and B. Scott from scoring. And it quickly just became a shootout. Los Angeles versus the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are a fantastic team. They have Barry Carroll and they have Michael Jordan on this team. One huge issue with this team, though, is that even though they have good players, they don't have a great player. They just have a lot of mid-tier players on this team with nobody who's like an all-star or is super good. Even though they have players go to the all-star game and Michael Jordan, it was nowhere near the star power which Houston has and Milwaukee has. In this game, though, they did have a very impressive run where Michael Jordan was making back-to-back threes. He went on a 4-in-a-row step-back 3 streak. Yes, step-back threes. He was shooting crazy. Only missed 1 3. Really carried this game. It's a very impressive showing. The Milwaukee Bucks beat Miami. Kevin McHale shot a lot of threes this game. He missed a lot of them. It was supposed to be a closer game. Miami's one of those teams where they are always going to compete and score, but Milwaukee's the best defensive team, period. And Los Angeles, if you're wondering why I didn't really go over them, I'm going to go over them a bit more when they start winning. I didn't really see a whole lot of that that I want to talk about from these first games they lost. But these next games, we're going to kind of pick it up talking about the Lakers. And then Denver Nuggets versus the Washington Wizards. Both of these are teams which are dominated by center. This is not really a 5v5 in these. It's mostly just Hakeem Olajuwon battling Moses Malone for who can have the most points. So, starting from the bottom up, in this series, Denver was up 2-0 at this point on Washington. Hakeem, I got in the better of him, just how it is. Moses was missing these first few games. It was very sad. He wasn't making any of his shots. His teammates weren't helping. Sun Void, Bailey, Lever, nobody was doing anything. And they got out to a quick 2-0 lead, the Denver Nuggets. The Milwaukee Bucks just stomped on the Miami Heat. It really wasn't a game. They made it look quite simple. They were just keeping them locked up, and even if they didn't go on long scoring runs, they were still scoring enough to stay in the lead constantly. Now, the Lakers won this on a buzzer beater by Ralph Sampson. This man, Ralph Sampson, is arguably the best center in the league. It's either him or Moses Malone or Wilt. That's about it. It's that conversation right there. Ralph Sampson was originally on the Houston Rockets and was traded for Wilt Chamberlain. He was a very quiet center on the Houston Rockets, but that is because that team only gives voice to their three-point shooters. As getting onto the Los Angeles Lakers, he has bullied and bulldozered his way through the entire league, single-handedly. He's went to the All-Star game. His team won the first game of the All-Star game, and then they proceeded to get blown out because Imaguro is on the team. But this man is a very unstoppable force and is the only reason the Los Angeles Lakers have the 5th seed. His back hurts. He probably has scoliosis by now. Is an absolutely disgusting player, and he carried them in this game hitting a buzzer beater. And that was also in overtime. The Toronto Raptors got the best of the Houston Rockets in this game. They hit a buzzer beater 3 by Dominique Wilkins, while the score was 70-68, which is why they have 71, because they made a 3. Dominique Wilkins didn't really play the best. It was a very good game on the side of Jerry West, though Jerry West was kind of keeping his team in the game. Most of their team had double digits. Everyone was just playing solid. This Toronto team is very even, and that's why that was a very competitive game, which ended in a buzzer beater. Most likely, well, not even most likely, in my opinion, it is or was the best game of this playoff so far. Starting from top to bottom, the Houston Rockets came back with vengeance. Scored 81 points, 5 away from the most points scored in a game ever. It was just a shootout. There's no way to kind of say that in a nice way. It was just a shootout. They absolutely murdered the Raptors. Nobody could guard Agura or Scott. It was a very, very rough presentation. The Brooklyn Nets strike back at Los Angeles, hitting a buzzer beater of their own by Barry Carroll with a 2-pointer. Very close game. Ralph Sampson went off for a 30 bomb, but he wasn't really able to maintain anything. It was a pretty rough showing by the rest of his team, and they really should have won that game, unfortunately, but Ralph can only do so much. Back to the Bucks and Miami. Disgusting. I mean, it's really rough to watch that series because Kevin McHale's not a bad player. He's just getting beat on the defensive end so badly that he can't do anything. This Milwaukee team will swallow competition and spit them out whole. The Washington Wizards, they finally struck back at the Denver Nuggets, getting a game, winning by 6. And this was the start of their comeback, as you'll start to see. Moses Malone, his nickname is Angry Moses Malone. And that's a very good reason he has that name, because any team they lost to, they came back and beat by a very large margin. He always just comes back with fire. He is a very scary player to be on the opposite side of the court with. Going to these 4th games, Denver strikes again. They beat Washington. Wasn't a close game. Hakeem had 26. It wasn't an issue. So they were up 3-1 at this point. They thought it was sweet. They were like, hey, we're going to win. Nothing major. And as you can see, that story changed. Milwaukee Bucks went on to sweep the Miami Heat in a very close game. This was the only game where you could really see that Miami could have actually beaten the Bucks. It came down to one shot. That was it. Legitimately came down to one shot. Even though the Bucks are a great defensive team and they win most of their games, a lot of their games are very close, and it's because they are still highly beatable. It all matters on if they can stop the other team from scoring. The Milwaukee Bucks usually don't score over 50 points. This game, they have 57, which isn't that far off of 50. If they ever score less, they have to play tremendous defense because most teams will outscore them. The Los Angeles Lakers. This is where Sampson started getting serious. Don't know what came over him. He started, I believe he had 36 this game, and his team started picking up as he started picking up. Very tremendous showing out by him. He played absolutely phenomenal these next few games, and nobody could guard him. Jerry Barracaro, which is a fantastic defensive player, could not stop this man at all. And the Houston Rockets, they had a shooting party with the Raptors, but the Raptors were not quiet. Dominique Wilkins matched DeGuro for a career high of 34 points. At the same time, Jerry West also had 30 points. The rest of the team going out, smoothing out that lineup. But at the end of it, a buzzer beater 3 by B. Scott to end the game. And when both teams were at 74, very close showing. This just goes to show that even these teams that are giants are definitely beatable. You just got to keep your head up when competing against them. Over to the Game 5s. This series got ended out by Houston against Toronto. It was competitive, really was, but it wasn't that competitive. 4-1, close games 2 times, but that was pretty much the prediction. We just didn't know where the loss was going to come in there for the Houston Rockets, but they shot their way through the series. Los Angeles Lakers, Sampson show. The series is 3-2. Sampson came back with a vengeance. He did not like losing those first 2 games. So, man just turned on the heat. It's either 3-2 or 2-2, and they might have went to a Game 7. They went to Game 6, so it was 3-2 at this point. But man went crazy. And this is what he does. Like, there's games where he plays and gets 20 points. There's games where he plays and gets 30 to 40. He just pops off sometimes. Washington playing Denver. They came all the way back. Right now, this series is a 3-2 series, I believe. Or it's 2-3 in Denver's favor. Yeah, it's 2-3 in Denver's favor right now. And Washington is just slowly grinding their way back. Washington ties up the series 3-3, blowing them out by 21. So now this is going to a Game 7. It is the reverse sweep or reverse sweeps. It's crazy to think that a single player can reverse sweep another team, but unfortunately that team they're facing also only has really one good player. The Lakers, they ended it. They were down 2-0, and Sampson just turned on whatever he needed to and just steamrolled his way past the Brooklyn Nets, who once again are a fantastic team, but they couldn't stop him. And then that Game 7 between Denver and Washington, 4-point game. Super close. Hakeem gave it everything he got. Moses gave it everything they got. But the reverse sweep pulls out with the Washington Wizards pulling out in the first round. We move on to the semis, where we have the Lakers versus the Rockets and the Washington Wizards versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Sampson, he's still hot from the last game. He went point for point with Imaguro. B. Scott had a cold game, and they end up pulling that game with a buzzer beater by Sampson at a tied game of 61-61. While the Milwaukee Bucks, they keep Moses down to less than 20 points, score over 50, and that's their recipe. Keep those star players under 20, score over 50, and that team wins. And that's what they did in that game against the Washington Wizards. Coming on to Game 2, Ralph Sampson is still hot from that Brooklyn game. He is not cooling down at all. They win by 6 points. Ralph Sampson having 34. He was dominating, to say the least. This man was not cooling down whatsoever. It was very impressive. And in this Washington Wizards game, same formula. Score over 50, keep the main scorers below 20. This team's just defensively certified. Like blocking, certified. Stealing, certified. Opti being ball, certified. It's a fantastic team in all concepts, I guess you could say, from head to toe. It's just a fantastic team. Moving on to game 3, Milwaukee's going crazy. You know, they know they can guard Moses, so now they're just having a field day. Winning by 22 is something not common for that team, and it's just a absolute wonder to see them score that high. The most they've ever scored in the game is around the 70 area, which was against the Rockets, and they weren't even trying to play defense at that point. They lost that game, but they were going point for point with the Rockets instead of trying to play defense. But them scoring 60 is that characteristic. Now, down 2-0, here comes the Houston Rockets, finally getting a bit of breathing room. B. Scott wakes up a little bit. Aguro didn't really have a 30-point game. He had more of a 20-point game. Larry helped a little bit. Ralph Sampson, just his fire started cooling off. And as you can see through this series, his fire starts to extinguish under the raining of the threes from the Houston Rockets. Next game, super close. Sampson tries to show them that he's still hot, that he still got it. They're up. They're up 61 to, I believe it was 59. Bang. Aguro, left wing, 3. Ends it. Extinguishes that flame. 62 to 61. Houston takes it. Tie up the series 2-2. Milwaukee goes ahead and finishes off the sweep against the Washington Wizards. Their business plan of keep the top scorer to under 20 and score over 50 led them all the way to the finals without a single loss. Going into Game 5, that shower keeps continuing. Houston Rocket, just that catapults rolling. Arrows flying, taunting, anything you can imagine. It was an absolute onslaught. Steph Curry, Imaguri, just absolutely raining on the Lakers. Moving into Game 6, they end it with an almost 30-point blowout. They came to play. They did not want anyone thinking they weren't ready for the finals, which is where we are at now with the first game of the NBA Finals. Looking at these teams, we have Isaiah Thomas matchup with Larry Bird. That is not supposed to be Dieng, so he'll go ahead and get changed. Seems like some adjustments were made throughout. We're going to go ahead and look at these rosters. Within this server, we do have we do have the coaches making teams. So we're looking at the Bucks. We're looking at Isaiah Thomas, H. Williams, Larry Nance, Kareem, and Eaton. So this should be H. Williams. This should be Larry Nance. This should be Kareem. This should be Eaton. And we're going to double check real quick. Isaiah, Williams, Nance. And then we're going to check one more time for Ang and Johnson, who are 1 and 2. Fantastic. Their defensive scheme stays the same, so we don't got to check them. That is the Houston Rockets' correct lineup. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first game in 3, 2, 1. All these games will be sent at double speed, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Houston's go ahead and win that tip. A quick 3-point shot by Aguro to start off this final series as he misses. H. Williams with the ball takes that 2-pointer. Neither team has struck first blood. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the steal. Here comes a blow-by dunk on Milwaukee's side. It doesn't get answered back by the 3-point attempt to B. Scott. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on Aguri as he gets blocked by Will on the switch. Aguri pulls up another 3. He finally makes it. He strikes blood for this Houston team. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar makes a 2 in the paint, which tries to get answered back by Scott, who is cold. He is not making anything right now. Scott has the ball back. Looks as go do his patented step back. Hits it in the mid-range. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets a little 2. He's already hot, and the game has just started. Get this man a fire extinguisher. Here comes Isaiah Thomas at the top. He gets blocked by Wilt Chamberlain as Aguro gets the ball, who gets blocked by Kareem. Isaiah Thomas at the top of the key. He moves down for a quick 2-pointer over Wilt Chamberlain. Kicking out to Aguro, who misses the 3. This team is not hitting their shots right now as Kareem pulls up for another 2. A timeout by Houston early in the first quarter. This team and the Bucks is very, very, very good at defense, and they're going to try to restrain and beat this Houston team down without letting them score. As you can see, holding this fantastic Houston team to just under 10 points in the first quarter. They might get a little bit over. It's fantastic. This team usually averages about 20 a quarter, and at this rate, this could be a very scary game for this Houston team. Little step back 3 by Tripp, misses. kept under 10 points. Those are the team stats, and we're going to keep this moving. Kareem with a 2 to answer the quarter, and Magura misses on his reply. Kareem makes his 2 in the paint. Shot gets blocked as Trip dunks on the MVP. Oh my God. Makes some space, but is answered back with a 2-pointer as B. Scott finally makes a 3-pointer with a step back 3. Here comes Williams with the offensive rebound. Ball gets to Aguirre. He misses. They are down by 10 to the Milwaukee Bucks in this second half. Who would have guessed that alley-oop is thrown? Are the Bucks starting to have a bit of fun in this game? Crazy. The Bucks, one of the best defensive teams, showing an offensive onslaught as B. Scott is not able to answer. Tripp gets his own rebound from the tip by Kareem. Milwaukee up 14. Larry Bird answers with a corner 3. Houston trying to get back in the game, but Larry Bird gets blocked again. Larry Bird moving it down. Houston is down by 13. Now, there's still time to come back, but against this Milwaukee team, comebacks are less of a chance. They barely happen. Houston has already used 2 timeouts as Tripp misses the corner 3. Kareem scores off of a 2. This is not looking like a good game for the Houston Rockets. Quarter coming to the end. B. Scott misses again. Dieng has the ball. As he misses, Milwaukee up by 17. This is what we were talking about before. Whenever this Houston team is shooting under 50%, they lose badly. And Milwaukee is keeping this team on the brakes. They are clamping them. This team is not going anywhere as of currently. Starting this third quarter, they're getting the ball into Kareem's hands so that he can get hot. His isolation. No one on this team is going to guard him. And Maguro answers back. They get the ball back to Kareem, who misses, losing his flame. Maguro pulls up for a deep 3. Is this the comeback starting from Houston? If it was up to H. Williams, he's saying no. Pull up 3 by Aguro. He's hit back to back. If he starts hitting 3s like that, we could have a game on our hands here. There's a 2 that is missed. They go ahead and get the ball to Aguro, who gets blocked. Aguro goes underneath the screen. It gets blocked. They're trying to answer back right now. Larry Bird with a very deep 3. Yes, he has limitless, but you're going to need more than limitless for that shot. Might need a bit of Jesus. Isaiah dropping down and making a 2. Aguro scoring on 2 defenders. It is a 13-point game, back to a 15-point game. Aguro gets the ball in the corner. He makes another 3. Will he shoot his team back into this game? B. Scott on the hot H. Williams. H. Williams misses. Larry Bird has the ball. He shoots a limitless 3 and drains it. It is a 9-point game. They are making a comeback as of right now. A 2 goes up, making an 11-point game. Another 3 that is missed, but Wilt Chamberlain gets the rebound. He gets it stolen by Dieng. The ball gets down in the corner. He goes over the screen to prevent the 3-point shot as the 2 is shot over Williams. Bang. Aguro makes it a 10-point game. This is moving quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Aguro shooting his team back into this game. It is a 7-point game, single-digit lead. Isaiah Thomas hits another shot. Dieng finally misses. It is currently a 9-point game. It is an 11-point game now. And Aguro misses his shot to make it back to a single-digit lead. They are still shooting under 50% as the Milwaukee Bucks are shooting 62%, keeping their strategy. They're trying to keep the Houston Rockets scores as Larry Bird nor B. Scott are having an effective game. Some of the leading scorers for this young Houston team. As Kareem and H. Williams are both in double digits and Larry Nance almost all reaching about that 20-point threshold. Starting off this game, or this quarter, Aguro gets blocked. This Milwaukee team right now is succeeding with their game plan. M. Eaton shoots a 2 and misses it. Ball's in Larry Bird's hands. He misses a 3. This team has to start making shots to get back in this game. Milwaukee up by 13. He gets blocked by Williams. A quick 2, and this game is looking like it's going to be over. Well, Larry Bird seems to think otherwise. Williams gets caught in a bit of a jam as he makes the tough 2-pointer. Larry Bird shoots again, missing. It's a very rough game to be shown. Will the Houston Rockets be kept under 50 points? They are 48-62. This game seems to be going into Milwaukee, and I don't think there's a whole lot of room for argument on this situation right here. Houston breaks the 50-point threshold. Milwaukee goes up and advances the lead to 13. It's been a very competitive game, but it seems like Milwaukee's defensive pressure has kept this team below their normal scoring average, and will be their key to success as Agura hits a step back three. They have an 11-point lead right now, as it's changed to a 13-point lead, which has been the story of this entire game. This double-digit lead has not gone away and has been an absolute nightmare for this Houston team. Larry Bird gets another limitless three as it gets in the hands of Tripp, who feeds it down to Wilt. Milwaukee calls a little crispy timeout, just trying to get some more points on the board to make the scoreboard look nice, and they'll be most likely getting the final shot of this game. 1 second left, Larry Bird's going to pull a three, and he misses it. Milwaukee takes the first game by 13 points, with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar almost having a triple-double. It is this man right here which is leading this team to success, as we're going to go ahead and look at this box score. Almost 3 players with 20 points. But as you can see, no one else is really scoring. That is the issue with this team. Houston, they are shooting poorly. As long as this team shoots this poor, this will not be a series. They have to shoot over 50%. As you can see here, they shot 30%, almost 40, and then 30% from the three. They have to shoot better if they want any chance in this series. We're going to go ahead into the second game now. Roster's looking fine. Getting into the second game. The Houston Rockets win the tip again. Ball's down to Agura. They're starting off good this time, making their first shot. H. Williams has a tough shot. He gives it to Isaiah, who makes the easy two. Agura misses, but Wilt gets the rebound. He kicks out to B. Scott, who misses again. 2 misses on the same possession. Kareem on Wilt. He gets his own rebound. Eaton on Wilt. They get the second one to go. Ball's given to Scott, who misses. Kareem scores the easy two, making the score 6-2. Aguro shoots the three, and he misses. If this team continues to miss, they will not compete in this series. B. Scott going for the two. He gets blocked. Milwaukee has his team on clamps right now, up by 6. Scott finally makes a three. He has to wait till he's cold. Makes sense. Burr, for some odd reason. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar makes a 2. Well, no, he misses a 2 as B. Scott gets a rebound. Tripp with a little step back, but Tripp misses because his inside's like a 4. We have Aguro switching off from Kareem, putting B. Scott on him as Houston's forced to call a timeout, subbing in Vandelay. Isaiah Thomas going low into the post, kicking the ball back out to Williams, who makes the easy 2 over Larry Bird. Larry Bird shooting a limitless 3. He misses into the hands of Kareem. Kareem gets blocked and then puts Wilt on a poster after his own rebound. Tripp answers back with a 3. Wilt gets a block. A little bit of revenge. Larry pulls a limitless 3 and misses it as Kareem makes an easy 2. Larry shoots a 2-pointer in the quarter. Only a 6-point lead, but they are still shooting near 30%. This team, if they continue to shoot 30%, will get outscored by the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee starts with the ball, missing a shot to start the second quarter. Barry Carroll looked like he's setting up his step back, but doesn't go for a pass to the ball like Tripp, who gets blocked. These teams are not hitting shots as Aguri hits a 3. He says, "Shut up, commentator." B. Scott pulling it back. Aguri can't go back-to-back. Van switches onto the shooter as he makes a shot. B. Scott misses. Starting to heat up for this Bucks team. They're starting to put some points together. Tripp avenges himself from the same position. Van switches on to Nance as Nance misses a 2-pointer. Aguro shoots on 2 very good defenders as Van switches on to Nance. If that switch keeps happening, they're going to abuse it all game. Tripp makes another 2 on Williams. Kareem misses. Can they make a 3 and get back into this game? No, Agura takes a safe 2 as he is now hot. This is one of the most dangerous players when he gets a hot streak going. They give it to B. Scott, who makes a 3 as a tied-up game in the second quarter. This is not what the Bucks want. Here comes B. Scott. He shoots another one. He is smoking. There is literal steam coming from this man's head right now. Here comes Aguri, who misses despite being on fire. Kareem shoots that 2 over Van. Houston calls a timeout as they get that ball to Tripp, who takes a step back. He is now hot. It is scary to have players on this team getting hot and ready to shoot. They hit Van. Van shoots a 3. He hits it. Is this Houston's comeback game? As Nance hits a 3. Nance is not a shooter. The moment Houston starts shooting anywhere near 40%, this game is now a competition. Looking at the box scores, Kareem and Nance both in double digits, as Abdul-Jabbar already has 8 rebounds. Looking over at the Houston Rockets, they have Aguri, Scott, and Tripp almost at that double-digit area. This team is still missing a lot. It has to get focused or they will lose this second game as well. Bucks starting with the ball. An easy bucket to start. Hit Aguro, who gets blocked by Kareem off of the screen. Nance is hot, but he misses trying to shoot over Wilt. B. Scott, he's going to punish them. He kicks it out to Aguro instead of taking the shot. Wilt Chamberlain on Nance. He goes for the block. He misses it. B. Scott shoots. He ties back up the game. B. Scott trying to show them why he is a part of this Houston team. Wilt Chamberlain on the duel as he blocks him. Tripp shoots a 3, but he misses and is no longer hot. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being guarded by B. Scott. He scores over the small guard as D-Ang is blocked. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar dunking on Emma Gurry, showing why he's the MVP. As Larry Bird pulls a limitless 3, this game could get out of hand. A 6-point lead by the Milwaukee Bucks, and they're going to keep feeding Nance and Kareem this entire game. Luckily, Lance misses as Larry makes a limitless 3. Nance having the ball. He gives it to Kareem. Kareem misses. Larry has another shot. He makes back-to-back limitless 3s. He is trying to get his team to stay in this game. H. Williams on the very bad defensive player, Larry Bird, but he makes him miss. Wilt Chamberlain making a 2. This is one of Houston's first leads in this game. Here comes Williams answering back. D. Ellis with the ball. He kicks to the Van. Van makes it 2. It is 43-45 in the end of the third quarter. The Bucks make a 2-pointer. Larry Bird, he answers back, and they'll get the last shot as Isaiah Thomas misses. And for the first time this game, the Houston Rockets have a lead at the end of a quarter, shooting 50% from the field and 40% just shy at the 3-point line. If they continue this, they may be able to get a game on top of the Milwaukee Bucks, who are being very dominant on their defensive performance. But Kareem seems to not agree with that. He's going and scoring as much as he can. Aguri finally makes a 3, for the heavens have opened. Here comes B. Scott getting a steal. It is the limitless Larry Bird missing a shot. B. Williams passing up to Kareem. Kareem misses while being guarded by Scott. Aguro makes it 2. It is a 5-point lead. This is the largest lead they have all game. Kareem misses again. Ball gets swung to Aguro. Wilt Chamberlain gets a rebound. He dunks on Eaton. This game is swinging to the favor of the Houston Rockets and is going fast. Eaton on Wilt. He goes for the steal. He goes for the block. He misses both opportunities. And Aguro hitting a limitless 3. He is making it rain beside Larry Bird. And Aguro, he gets scored on by Wilt Chamberlain, but answers back with 2 of his own. Scored on by Kareem, not Wilt Chamberlain. Kareem taking the ball down. He's on B. Scott, the little guard, as he somehow misses another 3. This team has came with a vengeance in the fourth quarter. Larry Nance missing. The ball goes to Tripp. Aguro makes another shot. They have a 15-point lead. Kareem passes the ball up, being pressured by the shorter forward and Aguro. Here comes Aguro. He goes down into the paint. He's running the clock. He shoots a 2. He makes the last shot for Houston as Isaiah Thomas misses. This team wins by 75 points after an absolutely awful first 3 quarters. This team is showing you that as long as they have at least one opportunity to score, that they will 100% score. Moving on to the third game, series tied 1-1. Who do you have your money on? Houston Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks? Let us know down in the comment section. This is going to be a very, very good game. If you would like to see updates about once every single week on the league at the end of every season, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like. I hope you guys enjoy. Moving on to game number 3. Houston Rockets have won every single tip this series as Isaiah Thomas takes candy from a baby. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shoots a 2. They are having a defensive party at the start of this game. Seems like they're coming with a vengeance as Kareem misses. Tripp tries to answer back, but he misses his corner 3. Nance on Wilt as he makes his 2. A quick little 4-0 as B. Scott ends the scoring drought. He finally gets the first points on the game, putting a little bit of water in the bucket. Scores 3-6. You have Scott guarded by Williams as he hits him with a step back at the elbow. Wilt gets dunked on, blown by M. Eaton as Aguro shoots a deep three, tying up the game, 8-8. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar blocks Wilt. He then scores on the other side, making a 2. Larry Bird makes a 3, putting D. Ellis at the guard position, moving Larry over to a forward position as D. Ang hits a 2. Imaguro makes a 2 as he starts getting a bit of smoke coming from his head. The hit Aguro, he makes a 3. He is hot already. This is not looking good for Milwaukee. If he starts hitting his shots, luckily he misses. But if he starts hitting his shots, it's going to be a dangerous game. Van is subbed in. He hits Aguro down low. Aguro makes a shot. He is hot again. Here comes Wilt guarding Lance. Is looking very dangerous with these players randomly getting hot. As we have seen, Milwaukee's success is from blowing them out the first 3 quarters. Currently, Houston has a 2-point lead, but they are shooting that 50% margin of which this team has to shoot. If they maintain this game could get very nasty very quickly. B. Williams answers quick to start off the second quarter as Van can't shoot over the very tall Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as Tripp shoots a 3 and they're missing. If this team keeps missing, it's not going to be a recipe for success. B. Scott moves the ball down to Tripp, who misses again. Houston Rockets are scoreless to start off the second quarter as Kareem hits a dunk on Van. As Tripp finally ends the drought, he scores, but it's a 5-point lead over to Milwaukee. B. Scott pulls a limitless 3, but he misses. Van goes and switches on to Nance as Tripp gets the rebound and the shot on the other side. Isaiah Thomas going down into the paint. He makes an easy pull-up 2. Tripp missing an easy 2-point shot. Isaiah Thomas taking candy from a baby. They have a 9-point lead. Houston's forced to call timeout. D. Ellis shoots a easy 2. D. Ellis is on Isaiah Thomas as Wilt's trying to guard them both and can't. Throwing up the alley-oop, having some fun as B-Sky hits his patented step back. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on Wilt, but he does not shoot it. Isaiah Thomas pulling up for the dribble into the 2-pointer. Aguro, will he shoot his team back into another game? Maybe. D. Ang with the step back 3, answered right back by B. Scott. Do not challenge Houston Rockets to a shootout. This is not the Wild West. You don't want those issues. Nance dunking on D. Ellis. Somebody, please check if that man has a concussion. Nance getting up the last shot of the second quarter leading up into the half. As of currently, Houston is on their benchmark of success, shooting just about 50%, a little bit above, as the Milwaukee Bucks are shooting a whopping 70%. Any team shooting 70% is almost unbeatable, and this is a very good game from the Milwaukee Bucks. They have a 6-point lead going into the half, but we have seen what happens in the second half with this Houston Rockets team. Let's hope, for Milwaukee's sake, that does not happen. Milwaukee starts with the ball as Kareem gets his quarter started with a quick 2, but B. Scott, he makes the first 3. They have a 5-point lead. H. Williams makes it a 7-point lead. Houston hasn't missed yet. It's back to a 5-point lead. Wilt gets a block. Larry Bird pulls up for a limitless 3, but he misses. 7-point lead back to Milwaukee. Tripp goes inside. He hits a little step back, but he misses. You aren't Scott. As Kareem makes a 2. Scott answers back. It's a 6-point game. They need some defensive stops here. They get their first one. They hit Aguro, who gets blocked by Kareem. They have B. Scott switching. H. Williams scores over Wilt. Scott was hot and he tried to make a 3, but he misses. It's a 10-point game. Isaiah robs this man, Larry Bird. B. Scott hitting his patented step back on D. Ang. Kareem over Van. Scott in the corner. They're trying to get back into this game. A steal by Van. B. Scott from limitless range but misses. D. Ellis is currently on Nance as a shot goes in from B. Williams. Larry Bird for limitless 3 is an 8-point game. It's about to be a 10-point game. Larry's going to try another one. He hits them back-to-back. Will he be the savior of this game? It is a 9-point game. He shoots another one. He almost made 3 in a row. This game is crazy. This is a wild series. Offense versus defense. Which one's needed? He tries. He has 3 of his last 4 threes in the last 4 possessions. B. Scott on Williams. Williams takes him all the way down to the point. It's a 10-point game as Larry misses the 3 at the buzzer beater. Houston still shooting 50%, but Milwaukee is shooting a outstanding 75%. This team is not missing right now, and as long as they shoot 70% into this fourth quarter, they will win. But if they turn restless, if they start sleeping, they will lose this game. It is still close, and that is a very, very much an understatement with this Houston team, who could give you 20 to 30 points in a quarter at any given time. Houston starts with the ball. They start off missing. Kareem, he's not even going to give him a chance. He dunks, 12-point lead. Aguro says, not on my watch. He moves it back to a 10-point game. Wilt switches off of Eden. Eden scores over Wilt. Larry Bird gives it to Aguro, who's being guarded by Kareem. Kareem blocks a shot. Williams misses, losing his hot streak. Aguro misses his three. If this team does not start stringing some shots together, a comeback won't even be possible. Aguro making a two-pointer. It's a 10-point game as of right now. They need stops. Wilt, he switches on the Nance, who makes the easy two-pointer, and Aguro is missing. Time is winding down. It's a 14-point game. Aguro gets blocked. Wilt covers him up with a two. It is a 12-point game. This team has to start putting the ball through the basket from the three-point range. Larry Bird shooting a limitless three. He misses, and that is most likely the self-dagger. This Milwaukee team is scoring the most points they've ever scored. They are looking to set a new record. They're at 81 points. If they get 5 more points, they'll tie it, but they get blocked. Houston said, we might lose, but you are not breaking our record. Larry Nance shooting the two. He gives it to Kareem. They are 3 points away. Larry Bird giving them an opportunity with the quick shot. Nance on Wilt. He gets blocked. This game is no longer about who wins. It is about if K can break the record. They try to get a quick score. They are 1 bucket away. Larry gives them the chance to break the record. It moves down to Kareem. Kareem shoots, and he breaks the scoring record in the NBA. My team with a career-high 42-point double-double, breaking the 86-point scoring record with 87 points to Houston 68. This team shot 74%, which also is the record for the highest field goal percentage by a team. This team was on fire in this game 3 of the finals, and they are looking like the favorites to win it all. And now all we can do is sim the rest. Very, very impressive showing from this team. This Houston team had 3 people in double digits, but it wasn't enough. Even though they were shooting their benchmark of around 50%, they just were not stopping the 70% scoring efficiency of the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee, Kareem with 42, Nance with 16, H. Williams with 14 on very consistent shooting. This team was monsters with 2 players in H. Williams and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, both having double-doubles. This team is vicious. Isaiah Thomas with 19 assists, which is actually the record for the most assists in a single game. 3 records broken in the playoffs. So not only is it playoff records, they're also just base game records. So they have technically broken 6 records in this game, which would then set them at place to have broken the most records or tie for the most records broken in a single game. Very impressive showing by the Milwaukee Bucks, taking a 2-1 lead in these finals. Game 4. It seems like Houston's winning all these tips, and that might be the Bucks' strategy. As a quick 3-pointer from Aguri, maybe they have some vengeance. Maybe they want to take their record back. Who knows? They miss a shot as it in Tripp's hands. B. Scott misses his 3-point shot. Ball's out to Kareem. Eaton shooting over Wilt. Larry Bird shooting a quick shot. Kareem with the blow-by dunk, answered back by Larry Bird with a 3. H. Williams puts that man Tripp on a poster, but he answers back with a 3. He didn't care about getting dunked on. Larry Bird cannot guard Kareem. He gets it to the center. He gives it down to Tripp. Tripp scores an easy 2-pointer. Kind of the story of last game. Houston Rockets taking a good looking or a good presentation in the first quarter. Kareem loses his flame. Tripp shooting that deep step back 3. Trying to go crazy. A little bit of a heat check. Larry Bird on Kareem. Dieng misses on the very bad defensive player, which is Larry Bird. Larry Bird makes the inside shot. They kick it down from IT to Kareem, who makes the 2-pointer. D. Ellis misses. H. Williams dunks the ball for an easy 2-pointer. Still 1-point lead for the Houston Rockets. Larry Bird misses a corner 3. Game just going back and forth right now with a little buzzer beater by Larry Bird. Houston shooting that 50%. Milwaukee is not shooting that monstrous 75 to 70% from the first game. As we're going to go ahead and get right into the second quarter. Williams is hot. He's starting out this quarter making a shot. Here comes D. Ellis in the paint. He makes a little 2-point J. Not Julius Erving. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar getting the ball back. He has some space, but he misses the wide open 2-pointer. D. Ellis, wide open shot opportunity. He kicks out to Aguri, who hits the limitless 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shooting it over Wilt Chamberlain. Here comes B. Scott. He said, let me try one. He is not hitting so far. Larry Bird gets scored on by Isaiah, as Aguro hits a 2 in the paint and answers back. He goes back-to-back on 2s made. It is the Kareem versus Aguro battle. He kicks out to IT. Aguro plays defense on 2 people, and he makes the 3. This man is not trying to lose this game, and he has a goal as he gets blocked by Kareem. He then also puts Kareem on clamps. Kareem puts Aguro on clamps. They are going back and forth until Kareem scores the ball. Van misses a shot as Nance has the ball all the way out the 3-point arc. He misses a 2 as D. Ellis gets the rebound. It's a very close game as of right now. Milwaukee finally takes the lead in this quarter. Scott drops all the way down, scores a 2-pointer. Kareem making another 2. Scott misses his 3-pointer as Milwaukee gets a rebound. Larry Bird gets a rebound. He gives to Scott. Scott shoots a deep 3, giving Milwaukee maybe the last shot. Nope. As Scott takes the last shot of the quarter, Milwaukee having a 1-point lead, shooting 60%, which is still very high for a team compared to Houston's 50% field goal and just shy of 40% from the 3-point. Nance guarded by Wilt. Tripp guards Eaton. Larry pulls a 3 and misses it. This game is just something, man. Both these teams showing their specialties, breaking records, just going absolutely crazy. This is also one of the biggest rivalries in the league between the 2 most dominant teams. It is definitely a spectacle to watch. The best scoring team versus the best defensive team. And it goes to show that defense is better than offense. It just really comes down to if that defensive team can also be offensive, because there's any day where any team can make all their shots, as you're seeing in this series between these last 2 games. Tripp is just not hitting. This Houston team cannot go on a cold streak. It's a 4-point lead. Tripp keeps missing, and they're letting him shoot. Wilt ends Kareem's hot streak. D. Ellis has the ball. He dribbles through 2 guards. What is he doing? Kareem misses again. Kareem missing is the only reason Houston's being allowed to breathe right now. A screen for Nance. He gets blocked. It has been a defensive presentation along with a brick fresh from Houston. At this point, we're going to see a few houses, maybe a few blocks being built. As B. Scott, after missing the entire quarter, hits a step back 3. Both these teams shot awful. I think the score was almost the same at the beginning of the third quarter. Very sad quarter, 1-point lead for Milwaukee. This is Houston's most dangerous quarter. The fourth quarter, it is tied 44-44. Larry Bird makes a shot. Nance comes off that screen set by Eaton. He has Wilt on him. He misses. B. Scott pulling up for a 3. Here comes Isaiah Thomas coming out that screen, switching on to Aguro. He shoots the 2. He makes it. He is now hot. Larry Bird shooting the limitless 3. He misses. That ball is in Kareem's hands. He has B. Scott on him, the little guard. He shoots over him. This is bad. Milwaukee with a 2-pointer. They miss it. Aguro has the ball in the corner, but he misses the shot. IT makes it 2. He is scorching right now. Aguri answers back. Isaiah Thomas taking the ISO on Wilt, who's their best defensive player. B. Scott, he gives it to Aguro, who gets blocked. Kareem answers with a 2, and now he has a 4-point lead by Milwaukee, as is now his 6-point lead. Larry, he makes a limitless three. They give the ball to the hot hand of Aguro as he's being guarded by Scott. He misses. The ball's given to Aguro. It is a 1-point game again. Timeout. The final timeout by Milwaukee. They make a 2. It is a 3-point game. Aguro misses his 3-point shot. It is now a 5-point game. It's back to a 3-point game. This is on the line. Can this be the dagger right here by Nance? He's guarded. He'll eat and gets a rebound. They kick it all the way back out to, oh my God, Isaiah Thomas makes a 2. Aguro misses the 3-pointer. Nance has the ball. If he scores here, that is it. He's holding the ball. They held the ball for the last shot. They are up 3-1 on the Houston Rockets. Kareem with 34 and 7. This team is going crazy right now. They are 1 game away from winning the NBA My Team Finals. 4 players in double digits for this Houston Rockets team. Milwaukee, 34 and 10. Moving into this last game, a quick edit from the Milwaukee Bucks coach. I mean, not Milwaukee Bucks, Houston Rockets coach. If you don't know, that's me. Go put this bad boy on low. The lineup looking right. We're starting it. It is 3-1 to the Bucks. Does anybody believe the Rockets can make a comeback? They've won every tip-off so far. A block to start out. No scores just yet. Scott hits a corner 3. Eaton does not answer back. B. Scott, he has the first 5 points for this Rockets team. Eaton finally answers back. He has the first 8 points for this Rocket team. Kareem scores a 2. He kicks it out to Scott, who has the first 11 points for this Rocket team. Scott does not want to go home. There is no bye-bye birdie in this stadium. They give the ball to Scott, who gives it to Aguro. Aguro misses in the corner. Aguro on Kareem. Kareem misses. They get the ball to Scott. Scott shoots. He has the first 13 points for this Houston team in the first minute of the first quarter of Game 5. Wilt on Nance, playing good defense. Eaton gets his own rebound. Second chance point by Kareem. B. Scott guarded by Williams. He has the first 15 points for this Houston team in the first quarter. He does not care right now. He has the first 18 points. He is setting a record for the most individual points scored in a single quarter. He has 20 points. He is setting a record. 23. He is on fire. He's the first 23 points in the first quarter for the Houston Rockets. Larry Bird misses his shot. It is 14-23 on the back of B. Scott. This is absolutely insane. You give the ball over to Scott. Aguro shoots a 3. He finally is the only person to score rather than this man, Scott. If we're looking at the box score, Scott has 23 and it's the first quarter. If he is on track and continues this, he could very well have a 80 to 60 point game, most likely somewhere in the 40s to 30s. This man is going insane right now, giving the Houston Rockets a 10-point lead, only missing 2 shots. This man is going insane right now. Wilt gets a block. They give it to Aguro in the corner. Aguro misses the shot. This man Kareem is getting clamped up. Aguro makes another shot. He already has 26 points. They're giving the ball to Aguro. He makes another shot. He is not missing. He is melting the Milwaukee Bucks right now. It might be the reason, not even might, will be the reason if Houston wins this game why they won. Him and Aguro are the only people to score for this Houston team. Wilt gets the rebound. Larry Bird, he shoots a limitless 3. This team is shooting the lights out, and they are on record pace as of currently to break the scoring record, and they're on pace for 100 points right now. They are going absolutely insane. B. Scott finally missing. He's missed about 3 to 4 shots this game, and he's already scored 30 points. This man is going crazy. Aguro hits another 3. They have doubled Milwaukee Bucks score. Aguro's hot. He misses a 3. He loses his hot streak. Kareem scoring over Wilt. It is crazy. He makes another shot. B. Scott is going insane right now. He's the screen set for him. He shoots. He makes another shot. He might already have 40 points or just shy of it. Tripp shoots a 3. He makes a shot. They're on pace for 100 points. Will they score 100 points in this playoff finals? They are going crazy right now. Aguro gets blocked. They're still on pace B. Scott sets the screen. Larry Bird misses a shot. Milwaukee will most likely take the last shot here by holding out the ball. Nance gets an easy two-pointer but misses over Tripp. Looking at this box score, Scott with 37, Kareem with 22. Scott is going crazy right now. This team has 52 points at the half, up 22. If they score another 52 points, they will be the first team ever to have 100 points. This is memories being made here. Spirit versus Spirit as Tripp misses the two. They need to end this quarter with 75 points and still be on track. Tripp with a step back three. This team has came with a vengeance. B. Scott, he gets the ball. He makes another shot. He has 40 points. He might break the scoring record this game. And it's only the third quarter. They get it to B. Scott, gets blocked. They get 2 blocks in the same play. They are trying to put themselves back in a position. But B. Scott with 43 points. 61 points on Houston's side. Aguro shoots. He gets blocked by Kareem. Kareem, he blows by Aguro for the easy dunk. They get the ball back to B. Scott. B. Scott getting a screen set for him. He shoots. He makes a two-pointer. 42 points. He is 4 away from the scoring record. Oh, he misses a shot. But Wilt then dunks on Eaton's head. They need 10 more points to still be on track to break 100 points. This team has a goal and they're trying to reach it. Aguro breaks his cold streak. They're 7 points away from being on pace for 100 points. Here comes Wilt. He kicks it out to Scott. Scott with the step back. He misses the step back three in the corner. Here comes Kareem scoring back. Scott gets blocked. This is a crazy game. Aguro makes a three. They are 4 points away from being on pace, but the Bucks are going to take the last shot for this quarter as it is 46-71. Looking at this box score, Kareem has 36, but B. Scott has 45. He is 3 points from breaking the scoring record, and if they score 29 points, it will be the first team in NBA history to have a 100-point game. They have came back with a vengeance. Aguro misses the first 3-point shot. They have to make 9 threes. But they're missing 9 threes and at least 1, 2, or 10 threes in this quarter alone. They are missing. They will still win this game most likely, but they are missing. They are selling themselves short. They may still break the record. They need 15 points, which is only 5 threes to break the record. No, 16 because the record just got broken the previous game. Back-to-back record-breaking games. If Scott makes another three-pointer, here they go. They're picking up the momentum a little bit, up 23. It was a crazy first half by this man, B. Scott. B. Scott going absolutely insane. Kick the ball down to Aguro. Aguro misses, up by 23. Aguro makes another shot. Wilt with the steal. 80.7 away from the record. I don't think the Bucks are going to let them break it. They're going to hold the ball on every single possession. Aguro with the quick shot. They might. The Bucks. But that block will seal it away. They will not break the scoring record this game. Tripp, he knows this. He gets blocked by Eaton. But the Houston Rockets do take this game. B. Scott, he breaks the record for the most three-pointers made in a game with 11, but he is 3 points shy of tying Moses Malone's scoring record, having 0 points in the fourth quarter. This Houston Rocket team shot 50% from three, 60 of their points from three-point range. This team can shoot the lights out. Absolutely insane. We're off to a game 6. Can Milwaukee end this Houston team, which is hot right now? If they can't, then we will be going to a game 7. We're not even going to talk about it. We're going to get straight into this game. Let's go ahead and get the gears rolling. B. Scott off of 45 points. Starting out this game, not so hot. A quick dunk by Lance. I keep calling Lance, even though his name's Nance. B. Scott with a 3 to answer back. Please don't score the first 20 points for your team again. Aguro with a 3. He said, Scott, you have some help. Aguro taking a back seat. Something he has never done for this Houston team. Very close game. Houston calls a uncharacteristic timeout, making a sub, even though their sub rotations are on low, as Kareem rejects Wilt Chamberlain at the rim. B. Scott looking like he's setting up his signature step back, but instead he fools everybody, hitting Van for an assist. B. Scott with the ball. He misses a three-pointer. He may be tired from the last game. He's on D-Ang. He shoots and gets blocked by Williams. Wilt blocks Kareem. Tripp has the ball. He goes around the screen, shoots a two-pointer. He misses. D-Ang with the ball. Just a little step back, showing Scott that he can shoot it too. Wilt, little blow-by dunk on Kareem. Kareem makes it to a 4-point lead for the Milwaukee Bucks. Scott is cold after his very hot game that he just had. Milwaukee with a 6-point lead going into the second. They're shooting 61%. Houston shooting just under 30%. They have to do better if they want to keep this game and make it a game 7. Milwaukee up 8 points. B. Scott? Will we have another Scott moment? Is that a hashtag? Hashtag Scott moment? Please let that be a hashtag. Scott moment? Hashtag Scott moment. If Isaiah Thomas misses this shot and Scott scores again, he misses twice, are they going to give the ball to Scott? They don't. Okay. Scott gets the ball. He misses. No Scott moment. Quick two-pointer by Nance D. Ellis, who can shoot, by the way. He's just not. For some reason, Houston Rockets have a rotation going on. Larry with a deep three. A little blow-by dunk by Kareem. Larry pulling up once again. A bit of lag on our side, so excuse this for the few minutes of this recording. It's a 4-point lead by Milwaukee. The game will even itself out with all this lag going on. Still a 3-point game. Go lessen the commentary just so the game can kind of relapse without having to pick up my voice. Buzzer beater by Larry Bird. Milwaukee, 64% shooting to Houston's 50% from 3. Almost 50% from 3. Mostly roughly around 45%. 5-point game. Can Houston take this series to a game 7? Nance seems to think not. But Larry answers back. It's a 4-point game. Little blow-by dunk by Kareem on Aguri. Aguri misses a 2. This is not the time to be missing because this man, Kareem, is getting hot. Tripp misses as well. They're going to feed the hot hands on their team. Their 2 leading scorers. M. Eaton gets the ball. He misses. A 2 back from Aguri. A miss from Wilt. He gets blocked by Kareem. Aguri gets a rebound. No Scott moment. Larry Bird pulling up for the limitless 3. He misses it. It's still a 6-point game. It's now an 8-point game. Milwaukee, if they get a 10-point lead, may have a chance of just walking away with this game entirely. Eaton shooting. It is a 10-point game. Houston Rockets have to answer back right now. It's a 7-point game. They have to stop Kareem right now or this game will end badly. But Aguro makes it a 6-point game. They get a block. But then here comes Hakeem. He does not want this game going any other way, but Aguro does not care. The battle of the stars like we were suspecting from the original part of this game. Here comes Scott. It is a 3-point game. B. Williams with the ball. Will he score to make this game have a bit of a lead? No, he will not. And Aguro, buzzer beater. It is a 50-point game as Isaiah Thomas hushes the crowd. He hits a 3-pointer. They are shooting 60%. It is a 3-point game. 50% from 3 on the Houston Rockets side with a 46% from the field. Will Houston take this game to a game 7? Let's find out right now. He gets blocked by Kareem. The ball's over to Nance. He's guarded by Wilt. He gets blocked. Here comes a 3-pointer from Agu. Oh, he misses it. He could have tied up the game. They have Kareem on the ball. He's on Scott. Scott has had this mismatch, but Kareem misses. Scott gets blocked. This game is crazy. The first team to score is going to start taking this lead little by little. Larry, he ties up the game with a limitless three. Milwaukee uses one of their first timeouts. It is Williams on Agu. He's guarding him. He makes a two-pointer. Larry almost answers back with another three. Nance being guarded by Wilt. That's the matchup they want. Larry with another three. He is shooting his team back into this game. They're up by one. If they miss here, they could go on a run. He misses. Here comes Larry. Is he going to shoot another one? He misses. They have to attack the inside. Get some twos up while they have the chance. Agu on Williams. He makes the two-pointer with 1 second left on the shot clock. A 3-point miss. 1 point lead. 3-point lead, and Williams is hot. Scott ties up the game. He has a 1-point lead. Hashtag Scott moment. It is Williams. 6, 3, 2, 1. They miss. It is a game 7. It is a game 7. Larry Bird with a double-double. Hashtag Scott moment to take the lead. 3 double-digit scorers and a double-double with Larry Bird. Kareem with 26, Williams with 14, Nance with 14. We're going to a game number 7 off of the miss from Nance. Nance will be immortalized if they lose game 7 as the reason they lost game 7. This is absolutely insane. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hand. This is insane. 3-3, game 7, the highest stage, the highest place. This game is absolutely crazy. Nothing comes down to this competition right here. This is where legends are made. This is where stars are born. And let's get right into this game. Still going at the 2 speed. Very comfortable speed for these games. Video's already about an hour and 30, may even be 2 hours. Neither team striking first blood yet. There goes Houston hitting the 2. Milwaukee's missing. They cannot miss. This is not the game for Milwaukee to miss if they want to compete. Kareem makes a 2. A 3 from Aguro. Aguro has the first 5 points for this Houston Rockets team. Is he going to show Scott how it gets done? Match his teammate a little bit. He has the first 8 points. This is crazy. This team has forced their way back. He misses a 2. It is going to be 8-8. But no! Kareem misses. He loses his fire. He gets it back scoring over Aguro. Scott misses a 3. Hakeem misses a 2. Agu answers with another 2 of his own. Nance. They want this matchup of Wilt on Nance. That's Houston, by the way. They want that matchup. Oh my God, this man Agu is going crazy. Beast Scott is not hitting in this first quarter like he was 2 games ago. Wilt on Nance. Nance on. Not Nance on. Eaton on Wilt. Agu misses. My battery is getting low. This is not safe, ladies and gentlemen. Milwaukee up by 1 point. Due to my phone being low, we're going to sim the second and third quarter times 3 just in case, so my phone does not just die on us here. A bit less commentary as well. Try to get this over as quickly as possible. Don't want to lose this footage. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but my heart is thumping right now. This is the highest stakes, highest competition that we could have. 1 point lead, 3 point lead, tied game. B. Williams hitting his shot. 4 point game, 2 point game. It's a 4 point game going into the half. Trying to get this third quarter over, return to double speed. Milwaukee's running away with this game right now. Houston. They're trying to score their way back into it. It's a 1-point game. Houston takes the lead. A cold Nance on Wilt. Oh my God. Aguro makes it 3. This has been a crazy series. Houston with a 1-point lead. They have that matchup again. Tripp gives them a 3-point lead. This is down to the hair. A 1-point lead by Milwaukee. A 1-point game going into the third. We would sit here and check stats. You guys can pause the video. I have to go double speed. It is a 2-point lead to Houston. There won't be any after game commentary just because my phone's already low. B. Scott making a 3-point game. Kareem misses. If they score here, they have a 6-point lead. Milwaukee uses their final timeout. Nance makes a shot, 4-point lead. Scott misses. A hot Williams. Pause. 2-point lead, Houston. They have to score. Signature step back is the go-to option for Houston. They are up by 4. Milwaukee cannot afford to miss. Wilt gets the rebound. He dunks on Eaton. Oh my God. The saving offensive rebound by Wilt and the defensive stop by Wilt. No, Aguro. He misses the 3 though. They're still up by 4. Williams misses his shot. Here comes Scott. He gives it to Aguro. Aguro makes it 2. It's a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left. If anything, this game will go to overtime. They have to score quickly. They're taking too long. He misses his shot. Oh, Scott almost hit the dagger, but it's too late, ladies and gentlemen. We have Kareem even shooting 3s. That is it. That is the series. The Houston Rockets win the NBA Finals. They win the NBA Finals behind Scott's 26. Looking at the stats real quick. The presentation. Taking a screenshot. Coming back down from 2-0. Your winners of Season 1 of the NBA, my team, is the Houston Rockets. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have a fantastic night now. Take care.